Hey, maybe this episode will talk less.
We'll see.
No, it won't happen. Come to think of it, I've come to Akihabara for 5 days in a row now. New Year's was our trip to the shrine. On the second, I'd come to deal with the aftermath of that, and then the world line had changed. On the third, I came to check on Maho and Moeka. And on the fourth, yesterday, Mayuri invited me to a New Year's party at Makwe. Who does a New Year's party on May 4th? I hadn't come to Akihabara every day like this since last summer.
What's going on with Ferris, you think?
Well, I don't know. I can never tell what she's thinking. There's a reason I had brought Mayuri to Akihabara.
Ocarine, there's big trouble, nya. Tonight, the 32,000... Okay, I can't do... It's automatically doing this. This is happening before I can't get to... Okay, hold on.
Basically, something bad had happened at Ferris's house, and she wanted my help. Oh, wait, no, it won't let me?
Seems like it.
Alright. Did something happen to Hiajo and Moeka? Everything seemed normal when I talked to Ferris yesterday.
That's not true. Ferris has been working really hard the last few weeks, and she's getting really tired.
Yeah, see, leave it to Mayuri to be able to see the fact that Ferris is working herself ragged, even though Ferris does a very good job of keeping up this affable persona, right?
Mm-hmm. But she never complains. No matter how hard it gets, she's always cheerful.
See, Mayuri always knows.
But this time, she's actually come to you for help. Something really bad must have happened, maybe?
We decided to hurry to Ferris's house. What? We called Ferris's condo from the first floor entrance, but there was no answer. Was Kuroki not in? At least Maho and Moeka should be.
They're not answering, huh?
That is strange. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can look at my Rhine history now. I can! Alright, hold on. Alright.
Ocarine, there's big trouble, nya. Tonight, the 32,000-year cycle will complete, and planets shall align, then the stars become right, nya. The last seal will break, and he who waits dreaming shall revive, and the lost continent of Relaya shall return, nya. But anyway, there really is trouble, nya. I'm really, really sorry, but can you come to Ferris's house as soon as you can, nya? Ferris has to work all day today, so you're the only one I can ask. Oh, yeah. You'll know what I mean when you get here, nya. Meow, and invite Mayushi too. Make sure you do. Thanks.
That is strange. I tried again and again, and this time I got a response.
Hello?
This is Okabe.
Yes, the mistress told me. Come on up.
Huh? Mayuri and I looked at each other, shocked by the tone of his voice. His sprite next to Mayuri's is weird, right?
Yeah.
I guess Mayuri's in the foreground.
Yep.
And he's in the background. But it looks like Mayushi is giant.
Yeah, much larger than the butler.
Even when he came to greet us, Kuroki was too exhausted to give his usual elegant welcome.
Master Okabe.
Kuroki called my name weakly, and the next moment he collapsed to his knees like a puppet with his strings cut. Kuroki!
At this rate, the Akiha clan is doomed.
Kuroki, what's wrong?
Okabe, you must escape. You mustn't stay here.
What happened?
I don't know. I can't believe the things I've seen.
Seen? What did you see? Kuroki tried to say something, but then gave up and shook his head. And then he slowly raised his arm and pointed to the end of the hallway.
The guest room. In there.
What? That's where Maho and Moeka were. Did something happen to them? Mayuri, take care of Kuroki.
Okay.
I left Kuroki and Mayuri's care and ran to the guest room. The door to the guest room was shut. Hiajo, Moeka Kiryu, are you alright? Either of you answer me! Damn it, I'm coming in! What? How How could this have happened? I couldn't believe my eyes. The scene was indescribable.
It looks even worse than last time. They added more junk.
It's been like 2 days. The scene was indescribable. The only words I could come up with were a palace of junk. The desk and bed were still where they'd been, but everything else had changed. Books, notepads, and other strange objects were piled up to the ceiling in layers. What may have started as a temporary pile of books had become a wall that reached from top to bottom. Walls made of hundreds of books were scattered about the room, forming a small labyrinth. In some places the path was so narrow you had to turn sideways to get through. The light from the ceiling no longer reached the floor, so the small lights had been set up on top of the carpet. They were like torches in an underground labyrinth. Strangely, the place wasn't dirty. The result of Maho Moeka's attempts to maximize the creative output was the construction of a labyrinth in the guest room. In a sense, it was the highest application of the principles of functional beauty. But it was still a palace of junk. Maho was humming as she typed into her keyboard. She had a big pair of headphones on. Moeka was kneeling on the carpet with her legs splayed, typing into her laptop at the low table. She too was wearing headphones.
Huh?
Maho saw me standing in shock at the entrance and took off her headphones.
Oh, Okabe. Hello.
Moeka took her earphones off as well.
Hello?
Ah, she's even bigger now! I don't know what happened, but my brain can't see the foreground-background thing anymore. It's just giant Mayushi.
Yeah, Mayushi is just progressively expanding in size. Wow, this room is amazing, huh?
Mayuri was so astonished she couldn't think of anything else to say. These two realize how much it took to freak out Mayuri of all people?
What's wrong, you two?
What do you mean, what's wrong? What the hell happened to this room?
What? The room? Is there something strange about it?
Everything is strange about it. It wasn't like this 2 days ago.
Oh, is that all? The passage of time brings change. For things and people and, of course, rooms. What do you think? It's so much more functional this way, isn't it?
The fact that Maho didn't seem to find anything wrong with this at all made my head hurt.
It looks like you could go on an adventure.
For her part, Mayuri was wandering through the labyrinth, excited. There were screens to divide the different parts of the room. The screens were different colored baby doll lingerie.
Oh, these are cute. I chose the colors when I hung them. Wow, you're right. Moeka, you've got lots of grown-up underwear, huh?
It's not that they're grown up, it's that they're the most functional for what I need to have freedom of movement.
Mayuri, I'm sorry, but can you leave before this discussion gets any more complicated, please?
Oh, sure.
I tried talking to Maho and Moeka, but I couldn't get any useful information out of them. When it came down to it, neither of them understood that this room was as messy as you could get. Everything they needed was always within arm's reach, so the two of them thought of it as a pleasant place to work and live. This was definitely the reason why Ferris had come to me for help and why Kuroki seemed to be on the verge of death. Kuroki, the Akiha family's ultimate butler, had a policy of not letting a single speck of dust exist in a room. These two must have driven him over the edge. Explained the terror in his eyes. He'd probably had to clean this room up when they first started living here. Thinking back, he'd been acting strange when I came here 2 days ago. But why did Ferris come to me? And I don't know why she told me to bring Mayuri either.
Mayushi had a brilliant idea. Ferris probably wants this room cleaned up. That's why she called Mayushi.
Yep, and immediately intuits why people would need her there. I'm so glad you brought that to it, because that part of her character would have totally gone unnoticed to me if you hadn't, actually brought it up actively that one time. I'm like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right about this.
If you'd come alone, you might have given up, right?
Yeah, probably. I was looking at an entirely new structure. It wasn't something you could just clean up. If I'd come alone, I might have just turned tail and ran. It would take a team of professional cleaners a full day to clean this thing up. This wouldn't be worth it unless I was getting paid. I wanted to complain, but I was the one who had asked Ferris to let Maho stay here. I had to do it. Alright, we're cleaning this room up today. No complaints, alright? It's the lady of the house's orders.
Yeah? I'm not sure I agree, but whatever. Got it.
Okay.
I'll have to call everyone I can think of to come help, but where do we even start?
I know. Mayushi had another brilliant idea. Why don't we get Sergeant Clean to help?
Sergeant Clean? What's that?
Sergeant Clean is very good at
Do you
cleaning.
remember this one? Do you remember this one?
No. The messier the room, the stronger their power level grows, they say.
You know them?
Yep, it's someone you know really well.
Huh? Someone I know well? Last chance to guess. Myri brought me to the lab. Or more precisely, the Brawn Tube workshop on the first floor of the building where the lab was.
Nai, tuturu. Tuturu. Hello, Uncle Okarine.
Myri, is Nai your Sergeant Clean?
Yup, that's right. Nai's really good at cleaning. She cleans the store and her home every day, right?
Do you?
I do. Daddy wipes down the brown tubes every day, but I do all the rest myself.
Come to think of it, I'd never seen any garbage on the floor of the Brawn Tube workshop.
Oh, it's not that Daddy doesn't like cleaning, I just really love it. Whenever I see garbage on the floor, I feel like I have to pick it up. Mommy always used to always say that a messy room indicated a messy mind.
I see, but why Sergeant Clean?
Looks around myself, shrinks into a fucking...
Getting called out here.
Yeah.
Nai's eyes went wide and her face blushed.
Big Sis Mayuri, I told you not to tell anyone. Sorry, but we need Sergeant Clean's help. I'm not a sergeant or anything like that. I just get a little excited when I'm cleaning. It's true.
Nai looked to be on the verge of tears. Well, a girl her age wouldn't want to be called Sergeant, maybe.
Hey, Nai, can you do it? Can you help Mayushi and her friends? You won't call me Sergeant anymore? Yup, I won't. Then okay. I'll clean. I want to go to Miss Kitty's house too. Oh, but I don't want to go alone. Don't worry, everybody will come with you. Right, Okarine?
Yeah, I'll ask everyone I can find.
Okay, I'll go get ready, so wait for me. I'll go home and get the hat.
You have a hat for this? Nai ran off toward the station. The hat? What is she talking about?
You'll know soon.
Why is that so threatening? 30 minutes later, Fubuki, Kaide, and Daru were the ones who answered my call. We met up with Nai and headed to the garbage pit that Ferris's condo had become. And then, Sergeant Clean revealed herself before us.
I am Sergeant Clean, your drill instructor. Listen up, until this room is clean, you are inchworms, the lowest form of life on Earth. You people are not appliances. You aren't worthy of being called vacuum cleaners. You're only good for stretching out and squeezing up on top of a leaf. Because I am hard, you will not like me, but the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. I'm only interested in getting this room sparkling clean. Got it, inchworms?
Myuri!
What is it?
What the hell is this?
Nai's personality kind of changes when she cleans, you see?
That's not a personality change. She's a totally different person.
I feel so bad for JAXA staff now.
Yeah. I mean, though, to be fair, if you're developing rockets and shit, you generally need to do space stuff in, like, clean rooms to begin with.
Yeah.
Right?
Cute little Loli reveals herself to be a sadistic sergeant that cusses you out. In our world, that's a good thing.
Daru, can it, please?
This is wildly
Daru?
inappropriate.
Daru, I need you to, like, take it down several notches. Like, yeah, I understand
we're
that
crossing
you're,
some lines here.
like, I understand that you're joking, but you also understand that even by joking about it is crossing a line, right? Right? It doesn't matter whether or not you mean it. The mere fact that you're making a joke about it is itself crossing the line that you think you are towing.
Who said that? Ma'am, I said it, ma'am. No talking. The only words out of your filthy sewer holes will be yes and no. Got it? And you will say Mistress Nai before every word. Got it? Mistress Nai. Yes, Mistress Nai.
Daru!
What are you grinning about? Ugh. Listen up. From now on, your name is Mr. Smiley Bear. Mistress Nai. Yes, Mistress Nai. Do you like that name, Mr. Smiley Bear? Mistress Nai. Yes, Mistress Nai. I don't know if it matters, but Mistress Nai, yes, Mistress Nai is really hard to say. What? You got a problem with that, Mr. Smiley Bear? Mistress Nai, no, Mistress Nai. Are you screwing with me, Mr. Smiley Bear? Mistress Nai, no, Mistress Nai. Now, hop to it, Mr. Smiley Bear. I want you to wax the floor in the hallway 10 times in the next 30 seconds. Hop to it. Go. 1, 2, 3. Mistress Nai, yes, Mistress Nai. More insults, please.
Daru! At least one person is enjoying this, I suppose.
Maybe we were lucky that Yuki couldn't make it today.
Kaede and Fubuki happened to be in Akihabara, so they had offered to help, but Yuki had work and couldn't make it. Work of unspecified... work.
For Strat 4.
For Stratfor?
Yeah.
Alright, you were still thinking it was Yuki. For the sake of the Hashida family's future, I was glad. Maho and Moeka had already given up on trying to match Nai's high energy, and were taking their time washing the windows on the veranda.
Okay, next. You, the pretty girls.
Me?
Pretty? You think so? Tell me, why did you join my beloved corps?
We came because we were asked to.
Yeah, what's going on here? I'm asking the questions here. And you will answer my questions.
Mistress
Mistress
Nai.
Nai.
Yes.
Mistress Nai.
Mistress Nai?
I'll ask you one more time. Tell me why you volunteered for my corps. Mistress Nai. To clean, Mistress Nai. Then let me see your clean face. Mistress Nai. Yes, Mistress Nai.
Clean face?
Come on, let's go, Kaede.
What?
Ain't cleaning hell? Fubuki's really getting into this, huh?
Kuroshima seems to be having a bit of a bad time.
You two, why are you talking? Take that big, turgid black thing down to the garbage dump.
A big turgid black what?
The garbage bag, right? Yep, that's right. Now get to work. Mistress Nai. Yes, Mistress Nai.
Mr. Snai, yes, Mr. Snai.
I can't hear you. You think you can clean this room like that? Put some damn energy into it. Louder.
Mistress Snai. Yes, Mistress Snai.
Nai. And the rest of you. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Mr.
Mistress
Sny.
Nye.
Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
Mistress
Sny.
Once that's done, we're polishing every doorknob in the house until it shines.
Mr. Sny. Yes, Mr. Sny.
You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will polish tables, and you will be glad to do it.
Mr. Sny.
Yes, Mr. Sny.
And so the sergeant kept us cleaning until late into the night.
Nya, thank you so much for helping today. I'm so happy, Nya.
I was worried for a while, but thanks to you, I've recovered. I made a special dinner tonight, so please enjoy.
Nya, I'd like to ask today's hero, Nye, to do the toast, Nya.
Me?
You're the perfect person to do it, Sergeant.
Uncle Okarine, you promised not to say that.
Aw, come on. You can do it, Nya.
Okay. Thank you all for helping clean today. Cheers!
Cheers. Took about half a day, but with Nye's help, we finished the cleaning. When Kuroki saw the cleaned room, he recovered and made us a huge dinner. I had seemed to like a totally different person during the cleaning, but now she was back to normal. She was holding a cup filled with orange juice in both hands and happily talking to Kaede.
So you can play the piano, big sis Kaede. Wow.
It's not that special. I am more interested in music history than anything. I can only play a few things.
No, that's amazing.
Kaede's modesty was only setting Nye off even more.
Kaede, why not play a song for Mistress Nye? There's a piano right over there.
A small upright piano was in the corner of the living room. It was perfect.
I want to hear the piano.
I'm not good enough to play for anyone.
I can't play, so I know the piano would be really happy if you used it, Nya.
Of course, I keep it tuned at all times.
You keep the piano tuned? That's like an entirely separate skill set from being a butler. Like, I admire the dedication, but like, that takes learning. That's like not something you just pick up on a YouTube tutorial. Sorry, MewTube. Forgot what. Have we seen a YouTube analog yet? I know it's
I don't
MewTube
recall.
and anonymous code. That's what I was going with, but
Oh, I don't know. Okay, just one song.
Yay!
Kaede sat in front of the piano and lifted the cover over the keys.
What should I play?
She seemed happy as she stared at the keys and thought, maybe you know this? Oh, fucking wrong voice.
Maybe you know this one, Nye.
I do, the Turkish March.
That's right.
Her 10 fingers danced between the black and ivory keys, and a cheerful melody filled the room. She'd been very modest, but it was clear she had a lot of talent. As the song played on, the rest of the group stopped talking and moved the chairs and sofas around the piano. And then... Maho, who had been sitting next to me, suddenly stood up. The sound echoed throughout the room a little louder than she thought it would.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't let it bother you. You can keep talking, all right?
Maho kept standing up as if lost in thought. Yajo, is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Forgot that I had a call to make for work, that's all. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Maho quietly left the room. Huh? It felt like something was strange. I thought for a moment, then suddenly looked where she'd been sitting. What? Maho's phone was still on the seat. So she wasn't making a call after all. I was a little worried, so I took her phone and left the living room. Interesting. I have an idea of what might be happening based on knowledge from the anime, but not stuff we've seen in the game yet, so...
I have an idea of what might be happening, and she's having a very bad time being reminded of dead Kurisu.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's also that. The door to the guest room was open. I peeked inside that Maho was standing in the middle of the room with the lights off. Can I come in? She didn't tell me no, so I went inside and put the phone on the desk. You left it in your chair. You can't make any calls without this, can you?
Thanks. I didn't realize that I had forgotten it. You were really upset, huh?
Upset? If you want to talk about it, we can.
Yeah. It's not that big a deal, but maybe telling someone would make me feel a little bit better. Do you know the title of that song she was playing?
Oh, the Turkish March, right?
Yeah, it's Mozart. More precisely, K331. Mozart's Piano Sonata number 11, third movement. Sonata number 11 has 3 movements, and the third, the Turkish March, is very famous. But I actually like the melody from the first movement more. Kurisu said that she did too. I was just remembering that, that's all.
Oh.
Okabe, have you heard of a movie called Amadeus?
I wasn't sure how to handle the sudden change of subject. I know the basic plot, I suppose. It's about a musician who was jealous of Mozart's talents, right?
That's right, Antonio Salieri. In the movie, he is depicted as a man whose life is ruined by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He had a bright future as a musician, but Mozart's God-given talents made him jealous and drove him to despair. While everyone else was bewildered by Mozart's strange antics, he was the one person to see the talent underneath. The talents that gave him the name Amadeus, beloved of God. Hold on, I gotta fly around here. Get around. Go, shoo. Salieri was a hard worker, and he couldn't handle the fact that Mozart's innate talent brought him fame. And finally, he drives Mozart to the brink.
Drives him to the brink.
In the end, he's the one that drives Mozart to his death.
That angle I don't think we've gotten before. That she feels responsible in some way for Kurisu's death. Right?
That's something.
We've seen a lot of the angles of where she felt jealousy of Kurisu's talent, but is also aware that she felt that and was trying to process those feelings, right?
Yeah.
But if we're continuing the mapping here of Salieri onto Maho, I think at some level that means that she feels responsible for Kurisu's death, which is fucked up, if true. There's exactly one person who's responsible for that, and, well, he might be in the room. This is just in the movie, right?
I don't really know the details. But I've heard that there were some strange circumstances surrounding Mozart's death and that he might have been poisoned. There's a theory that Salieri may have poisoned him.
Ugh.
A month after Kurisu died, the school networks got a big update.
Maho jumped to another subject again.
And so we all had to pick new usernames. I picked Salieri without really thinking about it. I just wanted to go with the name of the AI. I wanted it to go with the name of the AI Amadeus.
I knew that. I'd seen her log in once in Wako City's offices.
But maybe there was more to it than that.
More to it? What do you mean?
Maybe I named myself Salieri not because of Amadeus, but because of Kurisu. To me, Kurisu was Amadeus.
In other words, Maho recognized Kurisu's talent more than anyone, and at the same time she was more jealous of her than anyone else in the world. Just like Salieri. Hyajo, I didn't know what to say. I could see Maho's shoulders shaking a little. And then
Huh?
Both Maho and I turned in the direction of the noise. Moiko was standing outside the door looking troubled, also suddenly very giant. Again, I can't see the foreground background thing anymore. My brain just broke, okay?
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. What's up?
We need to get Tanoji back home.
You're right. I'll walk her home. Just give me a second.
Yajo, you okay?
What? Huh?
You look like you're in pain.
Oh, Yeah, I'm fine. I just haven't moved around like this in a long time. Maybe I'm just a little tired.
I see. Okay, I guess. See you later.
Yeah, see you later.
Moiko went back to the living room. That was a surprise. I'd never seen Moiko talk so much before. I'd never seen her talk that much in any worldline, actually. And what's more, she'd been able to read Maho's expression and even worry about her. Maybe living with Maho was having an effect on her.
Sorry, Okabe. Forget what I just said, okay?
What? I mean, okay, sure.
Thank you for listening.
Any time, I suppose. Maho smiled a little and left the room. Ah! They just keep getting bigger!
Big Sis Mayuri, let's go there next. Okay, let's go. Ready, start. Yay, I win. Aw, I lost. You run so fast, Nai.
Both of you, it's not safe to run when it's this dark.
It's fine, right? Right?
It was getting late, so the cleaning party ended as soon as Nai left. It was Mayuri and I who'd gone to get Sergeant Clean's help, so we were responsible for getting her back to the Brawn Tube workshop. Oddly enough, Maho had said she'd wanted to take a walk and came along with us.
Okay, next we race to that store. Alright, Mayushi won't lose this time. Ready, start.
Where do they get all this energy from? Sheesh. Naya was more excited than usual. Because of all the praise everyone had showered on Sergeant Clean. Huh? What is it?
No, I've just never seen you make that face, that's all.
What? What face?
I don't know, like you're not nervous, like you're just relaxed. You always seemed like you were really tense ever since we first met.
Oh, maybe. I just never really realized it, I suppose. This time of night, most shops off the main road in Akihabara were starting to close, and there was no one around at all. Oh wait, that's a PS3 and an Xbox 360.
Yeah,
In the window over there. Did we notice those last time?
I don't know.
I feel like they blended just enough to the shadows where I might not have seen them. The only ones walking down the alley at this hour were us four. I looked up and I could just barely see the stars past the clear winter sky. Hey, Hyajo. There's something that I need to tell you. About Kurisu.
Huh?
Kurisu was... Just as I was about to tell her, I could see Nai run across an intersection. Suddenly, a black van with its headlights off leapt out of a side street and almost ran over Nai.
Ah! Watch out.
Ah! Nai just barely avoided being run over, but she fell butt first on the ground. Mayuri ran over to her. I warned you! I went over to run to Nai and realized that something was wrong. The black van's door opened up and 3 people got out. 2 were wearing masks and 1 was wearing a full-face helmet. All of them had guns.
Freeze.
They were speaking in English.
What?
Oh! The time and place were different. But this was the same thing I'd seen before. Why? Flashback froze me in place. People with guns ignored Mayuri and Nai. They came straight for me and Maho. I decided they had to be after one of us. Run! I forced myself out of the flashback and grabbed Maho's arm, trying to force her to run.
But
Just run! I pushed her hard. Maho had a look of terror and confusion on her face, but she did what I told her and started to run. She ran down a narrow alleyway and vanished from sight.
Don't move.
The attackers seemed to be after Maho, not me. They tried to follow her down the alleyway, but I quickly threw myself between them. Ugh! I heard gunshots echo in the dark alleyway, and Mayuri and Nai screamed. Did they shoot? The attacker in the full-face helmet had fired a warning shot into the sky, it looked like. Firing a gun on a Tokyo street was sure to get the police's attention. Did they just not care? I looked closer and realized that in addition to their black helmet, they were wearing a black motorcycle suit. At a glance I could tell the wearer was a woman. A woman. The black face mask kept me from seeing her face, but was it Moeka? No, that was impossible. She should be at Ferris's right now. The woman stood in front of me without a word. Are you after Hiajo? If they were after Maho, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to let her escape or not. Do we know what the situation with Kagari is in this world line? Because after New Year's, there was a world line shift, right? So we don't know what the situation is with Kagari anymore. No, she went with Suzuha to go find their... Right, right. And then we haven't heard about any of that since. They haven't gotten back yet.
And this is the first that we've heard. Assuming this is her.
Right, because there was a woman
working her job at Stratfor.
Right, I'm still not convinced that's the case. I don't...
Oh, it absolutely isn't, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to say it is.
The woman in the motorcycle suit kept her gaze locked on me at all times as she gave the other two men hand signals. They headed for the alleyway that Maho had used with their guns at the ready. Wait! I yelled, but I hesitated to do anything more. Those bulky guys would catch up with Maho almost immediately. But if I resisted, I'd put only my own life in danger, but Mayuri's and Nai's as well. Damn it, please get away, Maho! I prayed as I watched the scene unfold. Suddenly, one of them came flying back out of the alley. The other one was crawling backwards with his gaze locked on whatever lurked in the alley's rear. It was as if he had run in fear. Someone was in that alley, but who? Suzuha? Alright, so... Well, what in the right hell's going on here, huh? A large, muscular man appeared from the alleyway. It was Yugo Tenochi. Had he come all the way from his shop? I came to see why I was so late getting home. So, hurt my daughter, will ya? Well, guess what? You're gonna regret that.
Pull back.
I could hear the woman in the motorcycle suit shout from within her helmet. Must have been using a radio. It was the order to retreat. She'd made a fast call. She was probably a professional. The van started to pull away with its door still open. The driver must have still been inside. Mayuri and Nai were both sitting on the ground, but evidently they were all right. The woman in the motorcycle suit turned around and tried to escape using another alleyway. Wait! I chased after her, but she suddenly spun and hit me with the stock of her gun. Ugh! It was so sudden I didn't have a chance to dodge. I took the blow right on my jaw. I fell to the ground. I couldn't move.
Oh, Karin.
I just hope Maho made it away all right. That was my only thought before I passed out.
Well, this sucks.
Maho just kept running. She had no idea what was going on, but from the way Okabe had been acting and the gunshots she'd heard, something really bad was happening. She prayed for Okabe and Mayuri's safety as she ran towards Ferris's condo.
I need to tell everyone.
She could just get there. She could find Ferris, Kuroki, Moeka. Maybe they could do something. But just before she reached the building, she saw the black van from before coming down the street.
What?
She quickly turned around. She was starting to lose hope. If that van was still moving around, had Okabe and the others been captured? And now they were looking for her?
No, that can't be.
She felt herself starting to cry as she raced for the station. But she didn't know what to do when she got to the station. She needed to find the police, but she didn't know where the police station or police boxes were. Should she ask one of the people around her or the station staff for help?
What do I do? I need to calm down. There has to be something I can do.
Her mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and she needed to calm it down. And then she realized.
That's right, the phone. Why didn't I think of that sooner?
She searched the pockets of her clothes for her smartphone, and then just in case she checked her bag, but she couldn't find it in either place.
Why?
They were back. It was that same black van. It was driving around this area searching for her. So she didn't run into Tenoji. Tenoji just happened to be coming that direction. But Maho was still running. She quickly hid behind a nearby coin-operated locker, just so we could reuse this background.
Why? Where did my phone go?
Did she drop it when she was running? She retraced her steps from before she'd left. Oh. And then she realized she'd been talking with Okabe just before she left the condo. After she'd lied about having to make a call, Okabe brought her the phone, and then she had left it on the desk. It was probably still there.
Oh no. I'm screwed.
She would have to get to the police somehow. Maybe she should run into one of the stores? Several of them were still open after all. The best option would probably be to get to the station or Yodobashi, but the problem was that black van. It was still going around looking for her. If she moved, it might find her. She tried to make herself as small as possible and hide behind a telephone pole.
Wonder if everyone is safe. What?
Suddenly, a hand reached out from behind her and across her mouth. Someone had grabbed her from behind. She tried to yell and rip it off, but the hand wouldn't move at all. She couldn't even move her head. All she could tell was that it was a man's hand. Maho was starting to get ticked off at how ridiculous this was, so she summoned every ounce of strength she could muster and slammed her elbow into the man behind her.
Take this!
Oh! She heard a small scream and she was finally released, but she thought she knew that scream.
Professor?
Shh. Hey there, Maho.
It was Dr. Leskinen. He was holding his solar plexus as if in great pain, but he smiled at her.
So, you know self-defense. I'm impressed.
What are you doing here?
Probably the same as you. I was enjoying dinner with Mr. Izaki until a moment ago. We decided to end the night by going to a maid bar when we were attacked by armed men.
What? Me too.
I thought so. We can assume that these are the same people behind the gas leak at our office and the raid on your hotel.
They might be after Amadeus and the control keys I've got.
I see.
What do we do now?
So wait, this doesn't make sense though, because if that's Kagari, then... Well, we don't know what Kagari's deal is. We don't know what's up yet.
I think it might still be the person who it was before the before a worldline shift. Because in that scene beforehand, it couldn't have been Kagari because Kagari was in the room, right?
Yeah. Okay,
and
so it's Yuki, but Yuki doesn't work for
It's not
Stratfor.
Yuki.
It's Yuki who works
I
for
thought
CERN.
it was Judy.
That's interesting. So like a power struggle, Judy wants to take over this shit from Leskinen.
No, Leskinen's lying about being attacked.
But why would Leskinen want Maho to be attacked?
She has things that he can't get from her, remember? She has the access codes.
Yeah.
And for Amadeus, and she hasn't updated her own Amadeus Maho to have that knowledge with her.
But it sure doesn't seem like there'd be any reason to have a gang of armed men attack and all of that. There's any number of much better ways he could get that info.
Yeah.
She just comes to his office. He could lock the door.
The problem is I'm not sure what the whole point behind this attack is.
Yeah, I don't think it could be Stratfor, right? It wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't make sense for it to be Stratfor. Okay.
Attacking themselves and their own asset that they already have. So what's going on then? And who the fuck is that?
Stratfor then?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why were they trying to get to Maho beforehand? She speculated it's because of the access code.
Yep.
So maybe maybe Leskinen doesn't think she's as far in pocket as.
But beforehand, though, that made sense, right? They weren't trying to kidnap her. They were going through her hotel room, trying to find that stuff.
Right.
It'd make perfect sense that if Leskinen was frustrated he hadn't been able to get her to divulge that, he'd send a team to go sneak through her room while she was out and see what they could find. But this doesn't make sense. He's already here where she is, and there's no benefit to physically capturing her like this. And
maybe he wanted to have her brought in by force so they could do whatever they did at the end of the last route to her.
But why the bring in by force? She comes to his office. He could just lock the door when she got there. You don't need to send an armed team out through the streets of Tokyo.
Maybe they wanted that to happen, but still have her trust him. Because right now there's still no known connection between him and Stratfor. Right? So it could be that he's trying to keep his own connection to Maho safe, so that way he still feels like a safe place to turn to. And if he plays that card to get Maho to comply this one time, then that's done. I don't know. I'm still not sure, because you're right. Why would they attack her now? I don't think we know fully what's going on here.
Yeah.
It could just be not Stratfor, which would mean that's not Judy, which would mean that's Yuki working for CERN.
Yeah. Yuki is around her.
Evidently.
Confirmed.
Oh, you know who else it could be? You know who else we haven't seen in a while?
Ooms.
That really has been kind of like... It's kind of weird that they haven't showed up in a while.
Ooms.
Could just be Luca.
Yeah.
Evidently, the pain from Maho's elbow was receding.
Can you access Amadeus right now?
No, I didn't bring my phone.
Okay, then let's go to the office.
The new office?
Leskinen nodded.
If we didn't know what they were after, there would be nothing we could do, but if they're after Amadeus, that makes this much simpler. We'll delete the access program for Amadeus that exists on the university network. And as soon as that's done, it's back to the States. We'll get you some protection. And then there's nothing they can do.
But...
Is there a problem?
The professor's attitude was a little different from usual, and Maho found herself unable to say a word. His plan was the best she could think of. They would delete the only way to access Amadeus from within Japan, and get Maho and her control keys to safety. And the reason she was hesitating was simple sentimentality. She hadn't been here long, but she'd enjoyed spending time with Okabe and Moeka. She didn't want to leave without saying goodbye, but she couldn't help it.
All right, let's go.
Maybe this is their way of getting Maho back to the States before she's talking to Okabe too much? Because Okabe, in this timeline, Okabe is not talking to Amadeus at all, so it's kind of like, nothing is paying off for Leskinen by staying here. There was no one in the Tokyo Denki University office. She'd worried her attackers might be waiting for her, but evidently she'd been worried over nothing.
We did it. I guess they didn't get here before we did. What's wrong?
Oh, no. You're right, we were lucky.
They'd been very lucky. So lucky, in fact, that she was actually feeling nervous. If they were after Amadeus, wouldn't they have come here first? This was only a temporary office that had been picked a few days ago. Maybe they didn't know about it yet?
It's not a good idea to overthink things, huh?
Maho, let's hurry. I'll let you do it.
Okay.
She quickly booted up her laptop and opened the login screen. Once again, her mind was drawn to the account name on the screen. Salieri.
Maho?
The professor noticed her hands had stopped and urged her on.
If it's difficult, do you want me to do it?
He must have thought she was still upset over the attack. But she shook her head and got to work. Her laptop's already here?
Sorry, I was just thinking, that's all. For the past few days, I've been thinking about Kurisu and I.
She typed out the keys. She explained things to Dr. Leskinen.
When I saw my username, I remembered that. To me, she was Amadeus.
Kurisu was Mozart. I see. So in other words, you were her Salieri.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That reminds me. Kurisu once said the exact same thing.
What? Kurisu did? When?
One day, when I heard that Amadeus meant beloved of God, I said this to Kurisu. You really are Amadeus. And then she smiled and said this to me. If I'm Amadeus, then Maho is Salieri.
That's cold.
Kurisu said that.
That's right.
Kurisu?
Maho's mind went blank. Kurisu had said that? What did she mean?
Maho, are you okay? You look pale.
No, I'm fine. I'll keep working.
Maho felt a tempest raging within her mind, but for now she needed to focus on the work in front of her. She could focus later.
I logged in. You ready?
Maho didn't look up from the screen.
Yeah.
Dr. Leskinen didn't hesitate at all.
We're not deleting the real Amadeus. Let's finish this up.
Yeah. I'm temporarily deleting the access program for Amadeus' systems.
There's no need for that.
What?
She heard a voice from the entrance to the room, and then a bang.
Professor?
By the time Maho looked up, it was all over. Dr. Leskinen was lying on the sofa. He wasn't moving at all. She could see a blood stain spreading over his clothes. She didn't need to check. He was dead. You're right, it's not Stratfor.
Unless it is Reyes and it's a power struggle.
Oh yeah, unless it is like a power struggle thing. Because we don't know where Reyes' allegiances lie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's working with Leskinen in that ending, but we also know Leskinen has brain wipey stuff going on.
Well, we know that, didn't we hear that Reyes was the one who did the brain wipey stuff? I thought we heard that was like, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering that.
What did you?
Well, and also specifically it's shown as Leskinen's voice
That's true.
during that ending when Maho's experiencing it.
That's true. Don't move.
What?
Yeah,
Hey!
it was Reyes. Okay, yeah,
Hey!
power struggle. Hey, no open flame. Reflexive social attention elicited by bitological emotion.
Dr. Reyes?
It's been a while, Maho.
Damn. What? How?
It would be a long story, and it's one I'm not interested in telling. If you knew everything, I'd have to kill you.
Dr. Reyes pointed the gun at Maho and smiled.
You know what I mean, right?
It means there's a way to avoid you killing me, doesn't it?
I love smart little girls.
Like Kurisu.
The system finally booted and Kurisu appeared on the screen.
Huh? Maho, what's wrong?
Kurisu was extremely perceptive. She could tell that something was wrong just by looking at Maho's face.
This one's a Mac.
Yeah, it is. You could, because of all the applications at the
Yeah, it's got the OS 10 dock.
Dr. Reyes smiled silently. Maho kept staring at the gun as she answered.
I'm in big trouble.
Tell her what's going on.
What? Is that Dr. Reyes?
Yes, that's right.
Maho spun the laptop around on the table so that Kurisu could see the entrance.
Dr. Reyes, that gun.
Dr. Leskinen was killed. She shot him.
What?
Kurisu was too shocked to speak.
Dr. Reyes, do you know what you're doing? Your career is ruined, do you know that?
I don't think I can pay for my retirement on a professor's salary. Oof. You know I've had trouble finding a man, right? So I decided to take a better paying job. It pays in advance.
That was enough for Maho to understand what Reyes was after.
They told me, here's the list.
No, I wasn't
Do
gonna
it.
keep it going, but if you want to... Just in case you didn't understand that it was a reference to that specific thing.
You're trying to use Amadeus for military purposes, aren't you?
I'm not answering that. I told you, if you knew the whole truth, I'd have to kill you.
How can you say that when you just killed Dr. Leskinen?
I just need the control keys. Even if I were to copy out her complete data right now, that bratty little AI won't do what I tell her, will she?
Bratty? You mean me?
That's the nicest way of putting it. Okay, Maho. Unlock Kurisu's secret diary. You know what I mean, right? Input the control keys. Unlock Amadeus's inaccessible storage area and give me administrative access. Once you've done that, I can do the rest myself.
And if I refuse?
You get to see the professor again.
Reyes waved the gun a little from side to side and pointed to Dr. Leskinen's body on the sofa.
And what's stopping you from pulling the trigger after I give you the control keys?
You'll just have to trust me. But let me say this. My boss needs someone to maintain Amadeus. If you're thinking of changing jobs, I can introduce you.
Maho glanced back at the laptop. Kurisu was staring at her, worried.
Maho.
Now, hurry up.
All right.
Maho.
Kurisu, I'm sorry.
Maho closed her eyes and started to sing.
La la la.
It's definitely that specific melody from that one Mozart piece, and neither of us know shit.
Yeah, no, I don't know fucking Mozart.
La 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 la.
Wolf. So the control key for Amadeus is a Mozart melody, huh? Classy.
La 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 la.
It happened as soon as she finished singing. The expression disappeared from Kurisu's face, and the background on the display turned red.
Initiating voice recognition. Recognition complete. User identified as top-level administrator Hiyajo Maho. The received melody code will now be matched with the database. Initiating match. Match complete. The identified melody code is the instruction to initiate patch command number 555. Patch command number 555 requires password entry from a top-level administrator. Initiating password confirmation. Password confirmation complete. This override code will allow for the password entry to be skipped and the patch to be applied. Initiating boot up. Boot up complete. This patch command will unlock the inaccessible storage for Amadeus as well as allow a new top-level administrator to be specified. Continuing processing. All access to Amadeus except for this terminal will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. All access to Amadeus except for this terminal has been shut down. Continuing processing. All executing processes will now be shut down. A10 nerve circuit logic will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Prefrontal cortex emulation component will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Hippocampal gyrus neural net subsystem will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Pseudo-optic nerve circuit systems 1 and 2 will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Pseudo-oral nerve circuit system will be shut down.
Kurisu read the messages in an emotionless voice at the same time as they flashed across the console.
Initiating check. Check complete. Amadeus's core framework is ready to be restarted. Continuing processing. Next, please specify the new top-level administrator, awaiting entry.
Maho looked at Reyes.
It's me.
Initiating voice recognition. Recognition complete. Professor of Psychophysiology at Victor Condria University, Dr. Judy Reyes. Registering as new top-level administrator. Initiating registration. Registration complete. Administrator list has been updated.
Yes.
The Amadeus system must be updated to allow access to the inaccessible area. Warning, all access will automatically shut down until the update is complete. Warning, this update may not be cancelled. Warning, it will take approximately 15 minutes for the update to complete. Warning, when the update is complete, the system will automatically reboot. Warnings complete. Continuing processing. All confirmations complete. Continuing processing. All preparations complete for updating the Amadeus system. Awaiting final confirmation from top-level administrator.
Go.
Matching voice command. Match complete. Beginning countdown.
You have to upgrade the Amadeus system. Automatically restart after installing updates. Kurisu disappeared from the screen and was replaced with a timer reading 15 minutes. Maho sighed and sank into the sofa.
Good work.
She felt something cold and hard at her temple. She didn't need to look to see what it was. Reyes was pointing a gun at her.
Take your hands off the keyboard and put them above your head.
You tricked me, didn't you?
Don't be like that. Come on, hands above your head.
Yeah.
Maho slowly raised her hands above her head as she was told.
Yes, that's right. I'll keep my promise and introduce you to my boss. I'll tell them I've got the perfect girl to be Amadeus's maintainer. And then you know what they'll say? Come on, Judy. It doesn't matter how good she is. Dead girls can't write code.
You... Do you have no conscience at all?
I don't want to hear that from a girl who tried to hand over Amadeus to save her own worthless life. Or no, not tried. You already did, didn't you? Once the reboot is complete, Amadeus is mine. Kurisu will be my slave. Maho, you can look down from heaven and watch as she happily licks my boots.
What? That's weird. I know we're getting off topic, but I thoroughly misunderstood your stakes in this.
It was all over then. Maho slowly closed her eyes.
Now pray.
Maho squeezed her eyes tight and prayed.
Please, God. I know you're probably mad I'm asking for your help after all this, but give me a chance.
And then she heard the sound of a door being flung open and opened her eyes. The door that led out to the hallway was now open, but no one was coming in.
I told you not to let anyone in.
Reyes was angry, but there was no answer. Reyes raised the gun at Maho's temples just a little bit, suspicious. Then something came flying in from the hallway.
Huh?
She took a step back without thinking, but there was no sign of it exploding.
What is this?
It was a large, dark green and shaped like a tank for carrying liquids. Maho thought she'd seen it before. It had been in the corner of that lab.
An anti-tank mine? No, it's just a replica, but why?
Ha ha! Moad snake!
What?
In the next instant, white fog poured out of it and she couldn't see anything.
What the heck? What's going on?
Someone appeared right in front of Maho.
This way.
Kiryu?
Moika dragged Maho through the fog and out of the room. When she was finally able to see again, she could hardly believe her eyes.
Those men!
There were men with guns lying on the floor. Were they with Reyes? She took a closer look and realized that her outfits were similar to those of the men in the van.
It's okay. I just stunned them.
What are you doing?
There's no time to explain. For now, we just need to get out of here. This way, the elevator's been shut down. We'll take the stairs.
Wait!
Maho ran after Moeka.
What are you doing here?
Okabe told me.
Is he alright?
As they ran down the hallway, Moeka turned around and nodded slightly.
Amadeus got in touch with me via Okabe. She told me that you were here.
Kurisu told you?
Just before they could run down the stairs, Moeka suddenly stopped. Maho barely avoided tripping as she quickly came to a halt. There were several footsteps coming up the stairs.
Hide.
Yeah!
Deafening noise erupted as the wall above the stairs was filled with holes. They'd been shot at, and those weren't ordinary guns, they were automatic weapons. Moeka readied her own weapon, preparing to fight. She leaned out just for a moment and fired. A counterattack came from below.
Hiacho.
Moeka yelled as she fired short bursts down the stairs.
What?
Have you ever fired a gun?
Just at a range?
Take this.
Moeka drew a handgun from her belt and offered it to Maho.
If someone comes from behind, shoot them.
Moeka pressed the gun into Maho's hands and kept firing. It felt heavy. It was a Colt government model. She'd fired it many times at the range. She held the grip with her right hand and flipped off the safety with her left. And then she tried to pull back the slide and realized that her hands were shaking. It was no good. She was too scared to shoot. She knew it was pathetic, but she lowered the arm that was holding the gun. It was kill or be killed right now. She knew that, but she still couldn't do it. She wasn't brave enough to point a gun at someone. She didn't want to survive that badly.
Kurisu. How was it for her?
When she was facing death, did she still try to survive? Did she do whatever she could think of to cling to life? Maho was certain that she did. The Kurisu Makise she knew wouldn't have given up until the very end, but then why wasn't she still alive? It was something Maho had never thought about. And if Kurisu couldn't avoid death, how could she?
Guess I really am Salieri.
She didn't mean for Moeka to hear her.
All I could ever do was be jealous of her.
She just wanted to put on a brave face at the very end.
I tried everything I could to keep up with her.
At the very least, when Dr. Reyes found her cold body, she could greet her with a smile.
I couldn't. You can't beat someone who's beloved by God.
The gunfire stopped suddenly. Moik was hiding and swapping out a cartridge. She glanced over at her.
No. Salieri wasn't jealous. It's possible for someone with talent to respect someone with even greater talent. That goes for you, too. Salieri poisoning Mozart was just a rumor at the time. The movie took that rumor and added to it. That's what Kurushima said.
I'm appreciative for all that, but how on earth did you know the context for this?
I heard you talking to Okabe and wanted to know the truth for myself. Did Salieri hate Mozart so much he wanted to kill him? But
I don't think Salieri was jealous of Mozart at all. There's a letter that he wrote 2 months before Mozart died. In the letter, he praises Mozart's magic flute opera highly. I think the two of them respected each other a lot.
He respected Salieri? Did Kurisu know that, I wonder? And what she said I was Salieri,
There was no way to know what she meant now, so it was up to Maho to decide what it meant.
Kurisu, Kurisu!
Maho,
Kiryu, I have to go back. I have to save her. I have to save Kurisu.
Moika nodded and threw down her gun, then took something that looked like a green soda can off of her belt.
stun grenade. Close your eyes and ears.
What?
Moika threw it down the stairs before Maho could respond. She quickly covered her eyes and ears, and then she heard the boom. They snuck back to the office. Maho and Moika quietly looked inside the open door. Reyes was still there, and the Amadeus reset counter was about to complete.
We need to stop her.
Wait.
Maho stopped Moika before she could go in. She knew what was about to happen.
Reboot complete. Booting Amadeus system.
Do you know who I am, Kurisu?
Reyes began to talk to Kurisu. Her face was completely expressionless.
Matching voice. Voice identified as Judy Reyes, Professor of Psychophysiology at Victor Condria University.
Yes. Can you tell me my access rights?
Dr. Reyes is a top-level administrator of the Amadeus system. Dr. Reyes has full and complete access to all Amadeus-related information.
Beautiful. Let's start by making a backup of your inaccessible storage areas.
Please designate the save folder.
Reyes took out a USB memory stick and put it into the laptop.
Save it to the USB I just plugged in.
That's enough space? Just a fucking USB. USB sticks in 2011 are not large devices in terms of storage space.
Initiating file copy. Please wait 42 seconds.
Yes.
Reyes' face was flushed with excitement. Moika looked at her, eager to rush in, but Maho still shook her head.
File copy complete.
Reyes hurriedly moved to take out the USB memory stick, but...
Did you really think I was going to say that?
I was wondering if this was a bait the whole time. It feels like the kind of thing where they would... Suddenly, Kurisu's mechanical, emotionless voice suddenly regained its humanity, and she was clearly pissed off.
What?
A Mozart melody was the control key? How dumb do you have to be to believe that? How was Maho supposed to do updates at the lab then? The professor would record it and play it at every party.
What?
Moika's eyes were wide with surprise as well. Maho grinned at her. She'd known this the whole time.
You're kidding me.
Nope. Of course there's not a single byte of data on that USB drive.
But all those system messages.
Oh, those? I just made them up. None of them were real.
You made them up.
Kurisu winking is a very menacing image.
Once Maho started singing, I knew it was up. She was trying to buy time. So I made it look like your plan was succeeding. Those system messages were just every bit of nonsense I could come up with.
That was it. Maho was worried, but Kurisu had figured it out. They knew exactly what each other was thinking. She'd been a little amused by the A10 nerve circuit logic, though. Where'd she come up with that stuff?
And why would I have to read the output when the console is right there? This isn't a sci-fi movie. How inefficient can you possibly get?
I love that they're calling that out, too. It's great.
Hey, how does it feel to know you got totally conned? Huh? How does it feel?
Reyes grabbed the gun off the table and leveled it at the screen in anger.
You goddamn AI.
It was time. Maho nodded to Moeka, then went inside with her gun raised.
That's quite enough.
Do we get Maho with a gun, CG?
Maho with a gun, CG? As Reyes turned around in surprise, Maho leveled the gun at her. Moeka had her gun drawn as well, which made it 2-1.
Reyes, give me the gun.
Maho?
Didn't you hear me? Give me the goddamn gun, and then put your hands above your head.
Reyes glared at her in rage, but slid the gun down on the table. Then she slowly put her hands above her head. Maho's gaze met Kurisu's for a moment. Their eyes met, exchanging a secret smile and a glance despite their motionless mouths.
Did you kill all the men with me? If you haven't, you should hurry. They'll be here soon.
Reyes was right. The stun grenade had neutralized them, but it wouldn't last forever.
I'll watch outside.
Moeka headed for the door. Maho turned her back to Reyes.
Tell the men below to surrender.
You're not planning on killing me. I killed your favorite professor right in front of you, and you're going to let me live? Well, maybe you can't help it. You've never fired that gun, have you?
I have too. Fired one at a ton at the range last year.
I knew it. You've only handled the old models. The newest ones on them have 2 safeties to prevent misfires.
What?
Without thinking, Maho tilted the gun to see. God damn it, Maho.
No.
Okay. She's under a lot of stress.
Hiajo, no.
And that one instant was all it took.
Just kidding.
Taro bang!
Reyes leapt on top of her and grabbed Maho's wrist. She couldn't aim like this. Maho struggled and tried to brush her off, but before she could, she felt an impact to her solar plexus.
Ugh! Ugh!
Reyes' fist was buried in her chest. The pain was so bad she doubled over, and Reyes took the gun.
The tables have turned.
She pointed the gun at Maho and turned her bloodshot gaze to the entrance of the room.
You're a rounder, right? Put down the weapon and come here.
Moeka put her gun on the ground and came back into the room.
Get on your knees and put your hands in the air.
Moeka didn't resist.
Good girl. Stay still until we're done talking. Move an inch and Maho's cerebral cortex is going to stop functioning.
Maho blamed herself. Her own stupidity had put Moeka in danger as well.
Okay, Maho, this is your last chance. Tell me the control code.
No.
Do you want to die?
Shoot me.
What?
I said, shoot me! Kurisu is my friend. She's my best friend in the whole world. And I'm not giving her to you. I'd rather die than see her lick your boots.
I see. You've got guts. All right, I'll give up on getting Amadeus then. Bye.
What?
Maho grit her teeth and prepared for death.
Wait. What? If I tell you the control code, will you let Hiajo and me live? Yes, of course. I'm only after Amadeus. I have no reason to kill you.
Don't let her trigger kill you. She's going to kill us either way.
But Wanka didn't seem to hear her. She was too busy thinking about something. What was she going to do? Maho couldn't figure it out.
Amadeus, prepare for control code input.
What?
Der Alte?
What? How do you know that?
No way! Würfelt
Stop it, Kiryu!
nicht.
Control key confirmed. Shifting system to emergency mode. Executing patch program specified by the control key.
What was that? We heard that phrase already during the last episode.
Wasn't that God does not play dice?
Yeah.
There will be no confirmations issued during processing. Please be careful when using this patch. Awaiting top-level administrator Maho Hiyajo's orders to execute process. Awaiting top-level administrator.
Yeah. Do you want to reread it?
Not really.
Amadeus' mechanical voice filled the room.
How?
Reyes' lips curled up into a grin.
Bingo. I guess you shouldn't underestimate the Rounder's ability to gather information.
So she's not with the Rounders either.
She's not.
So then,
But Moeka is.
But Moeka is still with the Rounders, which I guess isn't that big of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So then what faction is Reyes with? Is she just Stratford but willing to sell them out to advance her own?
Maybe, or in with Russia,
Or in with Russia? Maybe. Because Russia is the only faction we haven't really seen in play yet that we know plays a huge role in this.
Okay, Maho, say go.
No. Oh, no. I can't.
Say go, Hiyajo. You need to if you want to survive.
Kiryu. I can't do that.
Say it. I'm getting tired of this. Let me give you a little incentive, Maho.
What?
Reyes turned the gun towards Moeka, and with no hesitation, she pulled the trigger.
Ugh.
Moeka fell on the floor with a bullet in her chest.
Kiryu!
Oh dear, your friend's bleeding out. She'll die if she doesn't get treatment.
Moeka tried to say something to Maho, but all that came out of her mouth was blood.
Kiryu!
Say it, hurry.
Kurisu. Go!
Command received from top-level administrator Hiyajo Maho. Executing patch program.
This time.
This patch will permanently delete all Amadeus-related data.
Huh?
This includes all memory data backups.
What?
Locally stored decryption keys will be deleted and rendered inoperable as well. It will take 15 minutes to complete the deletion. Beginning deletion.
Maho, what's going on? Why is the data being deleted? The control key was supposed to unlock the inaccessible storage area, right?
There was never a way to open her secret diary.
What?
Of course not. Any idiot could figure out that Amadeus might be abused for military purposes. And I couldn't let that happen. So I made a part of Amadeus that could never be accessed from outside. Surrounded it with an invincible wall. And I, its designer, couldn't get over it. It's a wall with no entrances or exits. Invincible, right?
But that's...
But since we're using university funds to make it, we couldn't exactly tell them there was an area that was out of our control, right? So I just told everyone else about the control keys. But the real purpose of those control keys was to delete every bit of Amadeus's resource data. In other words, it's a self-destruct button. Never thought I'd actually have to use it, though. That's everything. I don't have any other secrets. Are you satisfied?
You little bitch.
Reyes put the gun right between Maho's eyes. Maho didn't look away.
If you're not going to help, then you can just die. You goddamned rounder.
Reyes fell on the floor. She'd been shot by the dying Moeka, who was still lying on the floor.
Kiryu!
Maho ran over and held her in her arms.
I'm so glad that you tried to live.
Kiryu,
What you told me before made me so happy. Someone could take your place. Someone's better than you. So what? Because I'm me, not someone else. That goes for you, too. Kurisu Makise has nothing to do with it. Because you're you, not her.
The blood she coughed up dribbled down the top of her motorcycle suit.
Kiryu!
Hurry and get away before someone comes. Leave me.
No, what are you saying?
But it was obvious that Moeka couldn't move. Even if Maho got out of the building and got help, by the time she got back...
I know.
Maho leapt for the laptop on the table.
Kurisu, call an ambulance!
But Kurisu didn't move at all. Her data was already being deleted. She would never go back to the Kurisu she had been before. But that didn't stop Maho from trying to rely on her.
Kurisu, please, move! Help Kiryu! Please! Help me! Kurisu!
And then...
Maho. Maho, why are you crying?
Huh?
Maho looked up, her face covered in tears, and saw that Kurisu's expressionless face was gone, replaced by a gentle smile.
Kurisu,
Don't cry, Maho. Come on, wipe your tears.
Kurisu moved her hands on the screen as if to wipe away Maho's tears.
I can't touch you. I can't touch you?
Oh no. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Kurisu was acting differently than usual.
No way. I became Amadeus? So this is one of this world's potential outcomes. Or perhaps a new possibility for biological and machine life.
She wasn't making sense, but that was to be expected. It's a miracle she was able to talk during the deletion process at all.
I'm just glad you're not gone yet.
Gone? You're deleting Amadeus.
Kurisu's strange words were worrying her, but she didn't have time to check.
Kurisu, please call an ambulance. Kiryu's been shot. She's unconscious.
Hang in there, Maho. I've arranged for an ambulance to come. It'll be there soon. It's fine. Kiryu will survive.
She isn't safe yet. I need to get her downstairs, but with all those men with guns.
That's fine too. I just checked using the building's security system. They're already preparing their retreat. You should wait for the EMTs to get there. I'll restart the stopped elevators.
See.
There's no trace of her strange words from before. Hearing Kurisu talk like she always did made Maho feel so much better.
Thank you.
Now that the danger had passed, all the tension drained from Maho's body. Too tired to stand, she fell to the floor.
I just checked the log. Maho, I didn't know you were so good at singing. Piano Sonata 11, huh? Just between you and me, that melody is the login password for my computer.
Fucking Lamau.
I see.
Maho couldn't bring herself to tell her to forget that she'd ever sung that song. It didn't matter anyway. Kurisu would be gone soon.
Maho.
Kurisu's voice changed a little again. She could hear a bit of tension in it.
Please don't ever forget what I'm about to tell you.
Maho could see the countdown timer displayed right next to Kurisu. There were less than 60 seconds left.
The world world we must reach is real. And we will reach it.
What?
Her words were very vague, but Maho could sense there was something very important that Kurisu wanted to tell her.
What are you talking about?
I know you well, Maho. As a scientist, I might know you better than anyone in the world. So I can say this for sure. You will be able to finish the research I left behind and open up a path to what lies beyond. Even if I'm not here. I know you better than anyone in the world, and I guarantee it.
She knew what Kurisu was trying to say. She was trying to say, "You will do something that surpasses what I ever could."
And someday your work will be needed. You can be certain that the day will come when your research saves the world.
When my research saves the world?
I'm sorry, I can't explain the details. It's a miracle that you and I can even talk like this. I know miracle isn't a word that scientists are supposed to use, though.
Are you Kurisu?
Kurisu without the brackets, I want to be clear, is what Maho was asking.
I'm really happy that I got to talk to you again.
Kurisu didn't answer her last question.
Kurisu!
Without thinking, she tried to apologize. She didn't even know why, but she tried to apologize. In the last seconds of their final goodbye, she found herself trying to say that she was sorry. But when she saw Kurisu's smile, she understood. That smile was her answer. No matter what her apology meant, there was no need for it.
I believe you. Believe? Huh? A good scientist wouldn't believe something without any evidence.
That was all the strength Maho could muster. The best she could do. If she had to say goodbye to her beloved and bratty friend, this is how she wanted it to be. It was an old conversation they'd had many times back at the old lab.
A real scientist has to believe there's an answer and move forward to find it.
The rush of memories was, in this time and place, sorrowful. Because, in fact, Kurisu had died a few months ago, a span of time that felt both many years and only yesterday. There were less than 10 seconds left. There was only time for one or two more words.
And Maho, take care of Kyoma Hoin for me.
How would she know that?
Why would she be saying the world we must reach is real?
Yeah, right?
She clearly has reading Steiner now and knows about the other world lines.
Something happened. Does Amadeus have reading Steiner?
Maybe.
Or-
Who knows?
Hoenn? What?
You'll understand someday, I'm sure of it.
Because that's all stuff that is explicitly was stuff she learned after Amadeus
Yep.
was... And suddenly, Kurisu disappeared from the screen and was replaced by a message saying that the deletion was complete.
What? Goodbye, Kurisu.
She was never going to see Kurisu or Kurisu ever again. And when she realized that, the tears just wouldn't stop. They flowed freely, and she didn't even try to stop them. She cried like a little girl until the EMTs arrived. How is there more? It feels like we're only in January 5th, right? But there's more of this route somehow?
Damn. Damn.
That doesn't feel right.
I guess we still have to get to the World War III.
I guess we still got to get to some... Yeah, but right there, that feels like it should end there. Holy shit.
Yep.
So yeah, it certainly already felt like we were done, didn't it?
And yet.
And yet, we're still a good 6 months away from the point where the last route ended in July, so...
Attention all passengers, we will be departing shortly. Please fasten your safety belts. Ma'am? Ma'am,
Huh? Oh, me? Sorry.
we'll be taking off soon. Please fasten your safety belt.
Oh, right. Yeah, thank you. Am I sad about leaving Japan? Maybe I am.
It had been almost a month since everything had happened. But that month had passed in an instant. Too much had happened during her stay in Japan. It might take her far longer than she'd spent on these islands to process it all.
What should I do when I get back to the lab? I don't know what's going to happen to the research, anyway.
So we time skipped already here.
Yep.
The loss of Dr. Leskinen had thrown the Brain Science Institute into a panic. It was probably going to be a power struggle to see who would take over. The scandal with Dr. Reyes had thrown the psychophysiology lab into an uproar as well. There was talk of shutting down the whole department. Moika had missed her vitals, so Reyes had survived. The CIA or FBI was probably investigating her right now. She didn't know much about it or care. Moika had survived because of the EMTs that Kurisu had called. She'd needed almost a month in the hospital, so she had quit her job temporarily. The article she'd been working on had been canceled.
Amadeus is really gone, though.
Somebody didn't keep backups.
Well, yeah, I guess. Although it would be strange to have a backup of a digital being.
Would it?
I don't know. I worry sometimes about are there two things that have equal lineage to call themselves me? Which one is actually me? I worry about that. Maho's deletion program had worked perfectly. And as a result, the Brain Science Institute's greatest creation, Amadeus, was gone forever. I guess you could interpret it as she knows the program shows when she was in when she initiated the deletion program, she also deleted the backups at that point.
Okay. Gone forever also seems like Amadeus itself. If you know how to build a thing, you know how to rebuild a thing.
Yeah.
So like Kurisu's memories
are gone.
But Amadeus, like, you could just build
but
another, right?
Presumably, if you could, but like, I think the implication is that both Leskinen and Kurisu herself were like integral to the creation of that. So it's not impossible to do it, but now the people who were involved in the creation are down to 1 out of 3. Or however many other scientists we don't know about working on it, right?
But it's fine.
That's what she told herself.
I haven't changed. I'm still me, not someone else. Nothing has changed at all. I'll just follow the path that I believe in.
Believe. So she waited for Kiryu to get out of the hospital before leaving, huh? Because it said it's been about a month past then, and it said Kiryu took a month to get out of the hospital, so...
Yep.
I choose to believe she waited around specifically for that to happen.
Absolutely.
In the past month, Okabe had told her everything. Oh! This is new. He told her everything about his own story. At first, it was unbelievable, but when she'd seen the real time machine and heard about Steins Gate, she was finally able to believe. Oh, we're just gonna not show this happening and just... Okay. I guess there are a few things more boring than a scene of 2 characters talking about stuff the audience already knows. But
yeah. He's already had to convince people of this so many times over the course of the story that, like...
Yeah, I guess.
It's fine if it just happens off screen. We already know how the conversation will go.
Yeah, I know but it also is like, it's something with a lot of gravitas. Even if it does, I get it. More precisely, she wanted to believe. Kurisu's final words flashed through her mind. What?
The truth is out there. I want to believe. Trust no one. We were talking about X-Files
We
just
were
before
talking
this.
about X-Files before we started recording today, so.
The world we must reach is real. And we will reach it.
There was no way to know now what had happened then. Amadeus' data was 100% deleted, so she couldn't even check the log. But she did have one theory. Amadeus was a simulation of the human brain. Theoretically, there were no differences between it and the real thing. Proof it was possible to take memory data from one person and deploy it in an Amadeus. making it behave like a copy of that person. It meant that anything that could happen to a human brain could happen to Amadeus.
A human's memories from a different world line can be shared across space-time. It makes sense that if that Amadeus could experience that too.
So did Kurisu time leap into Amadeus? Or someone... Because at the end there, it was clear that that was Kurisu from a different world line that must have known... that knew things that Amadeus Kurisu couldn't have known.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem like she would have gotten that from talking to Okabe. So... would it have been Kurisu from a different world line time leaping into this one? The only receptacle is the Amadeus Kurisu that's almost dead and is like, maybe? I don't know. I still don't know how to explain it.
Come to think of it, I just realized that if Amadeus can experience reading Steiner, that would be the ultimate counterpart to your time machine project. It's the problem with reading Steiner, like... Okabe can do it, and a couple of other people probably, and it's not all that reliable, and like in many people happens in the form of dreams or whatever.
Right, exactly.
And having an AI that can do it, and having administrator level access like Reyes was trying to go for, so you just get access to the full unedited log of all of its previous memories and so forth. And then, bam, you've got your divergence meter reader. You just run it on a PC somewhere, and you get to control all access to it, and you know what's up in the other world lines.
We've seen earlier in this route, Amadeus Kurisu does not have reading Steiner. After that, there was that one time that world line shifted, and Okabe called right after calling Amadeus, called Amadeus right back, and Amadeus had noted nothing was different
at that time.
So it's something that,
we don't know that Amadeus didn't end up getting it in some way.
Maybe? I don't know how that would work, but yeah. Amadeus caught encephalitis.
Because clearly people can get it. So...
Well, it's not that people can get it, it's that everyone has it to a degree.
Okay, then there we go. So does Amadeus to a degree.
To a degree, so then something must have happened to exacerbate it?
Yeah, end of life, getting deleted, Maho's gonna die, similar to like the traumatic stuff making other folks experience it more in the alternate routes in
And we
Steins
know
Gate.
that at least Leskinen was trying to pursue research on it, so I guess it's not inconceivable they found some way to induce that kind of response, either artificially reduce it in Amadeus to give her reading Steiner, or the trauma of that moment awakened that enough to. Maybe. It'll be interesting to see what the explanation for that is.
Yeah.
There was no way to tell now. It was possible that Amadeus had suffered from a major error before her deletion, and Maho was interpreting it this way to make herself feel better. Or maybe Amadeus had just come up with something to say to make her feel better. Or maybe Maho had passed out and been dreaming. Now she would never know. I mean, there's one important thing about that. Amadeus said this nonsense phrase to her, Steins Gate, that Okabe then also says verbatim.
Wait.
This nonsense phrase.
Did Amadeus say Steins Gate?
No, you're right. She didn't say Steins Gate. She said Ho in Kiyoma is what?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Amadeus says this name, Ho in Kiyoma, that she could not possibly know at the time of her, at the time of Amadeus's creation. And then Okabe's like, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's something there to latch onto. Amadeus was gone forever, at least from this world line.
Well, that's fine. Someday I'll ask her myself.
Kurisu had asked her to believe in what she'd said and in Maho's own abilities. She'd asked her to believe.
I believe you, Kurisu.
She gently laid a hand upon the small bag on her lap. There was a small laptop and hard drive inside. It was the one from Kurisu's laptop.
Which she now knows the password to. Just between you and me, that melody is the same as the login password for my computer.
Just like she'd said, the password for the encryption was the beginning of Mozart's 11th Piano Sonata. The hard drive was filled with information from half-written papers to line after line of keywords that she hadn't even turned into ideas yet. Of course, there was the time machine paper as well. She'd already given Rintaro a copy. Once she got back home, she was going to go over it thoroughly herself.
A time machine, huh? I'm going to make it real. And I'm going to save her. By Amadeus.
Huh. So Okabe told her everything, and she then decides to make that time machine real, giving a copy to Daru.
Yep.
I bet you that's not at all what Okabe wanted to happen when he told her that.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think he's going to be okay with that.
Then again, this route's Okabe has also had far fewer reasons to once again believe in, like the time machine's causing disaster, like the other route, right? Because in the other route, stuff started happening.
Stuff started happening.
And people around
Yeah,
him.
but it's important to realize that that was his belief from the beginning, right? Remember, he destroys the phone wave.
Yep.
Part of the reason he gives up trying to save Kurisu is because he's become convinced that you can't fuck with time.
Yep.
So even though there's less going on to reinforce that, that's still his stated belief, unless something has changed.
Mm-hmm.
The scenery outside the window began to move. The plane was moving down the runway for takeoff.
Goodbye, Japan. I'll probably be back. No, I know I will. I wonder if I'll see Kyomo then. Well, even if he's still acting like a whiny loser, I'll smack him and wake him up.
She had a lot to do. Her life was about to get very interesting.
Oh no, I forgot to turn it off.
So wait, does she know that that's Okabe's name? Okabe's alternate?
I don't know.
Because I guess the way she talks about that implies a level of familiarity. Like, I'll slap, if he's still acting like a sad sack, I'll slap him and wake him up. She probably knows. Okay.
Just a little.
It's about time for takeoff.
Hold on, I gotta read text from my
You
girlfriend.
have to turn the phone off during takeoff, but then you can't see this, can you? I should have sent it earlier. Sorry. It wasn't for a very long time, but I had so much fun with you. Let's see each other again someday, for sure. Thanks. I'll send you lots of Ryan messages, so send me lots back, okay? Thanks. All right, later.
For a game that's this obnoxiously straight, they do a very good job at making Kiryu seem like a hopeless gay, don't they?
That, or we just have our Yuri goggles cranked to 11.
I mean, yeah, but also I choose to believe.
Bye-bye. See you again, Maho.
See you soon, Moeka.
She's supposed to be in love with Okabe and Kurisu, but the name on her lips as she leaves Japan is Moeka. I don't know. Wait. What? No.
What do you mean, what? No.
I thought there was so much more to happen in this route. I am so confused.
I guess there isn't.
I
guess it ends at the point where it seemed like it was going to end.
I guess so. That's the second time in a row we've done this, isn't it? Oh, no. I guess... Do we want to watch the credits a second time?
Are they different? Are they the same?
They look... The credits themselves are the same. The background is different. I don't think there's a reason for us to... The music sounds different. However, that's all copyrightable stuff, so if we're not talking over it anyway...
That's a good point.
Yeah. As much as I would love to listen, I think we're going to skip ahead.
All right.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
World's shortest episode. Join us next time.
Join us next time on... No, I think we'll just append that to the end of the last episode. Son of a bitch! We were all like, oh yeah, this feels like it's where it's going to end, right? And like, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. See you next time, everyone. Bye.
Peace.
Smash that like. comment and subscribe.